Hello, I'm Stephanie with the GA Huddle, and I'm here with Kerry Hemphill, who is the sports betting product manager at the Oregon Lottery. How are you, Kerry?
Hello, I'm doing well today. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Mhm.
The first question, which we can jump right into, is just about what a typical day looks like for you at the Oregon Lottery and more about your role.
Sure. Let me first tell you a little bit about the Oregon Lottery, and why we exist. So we are a state-run lottery here in Oregon for the purpose that we exist for the purpose of our mission statement, which is to operate a lottery with the highest integrity standards and security standards, in order to gain maximum profits for the state of Oregon while commensurating with the public good. So my role with that is to run the sports betting program. I've been at the Oregon Lottery for about 14 and a half, 15 years. I've had a handful of different positions at the lottery, from marketing to merchandising, and the last handful was as a sports betting product. So we brought it back in 2019, and I've been running that since then. Unlike other areas in the states, Oregon is unique in that the gambling is still considered illegal unless it's run through the state agency, or the tribal casinos here. And with that, we're not the experts in the sports betting field. So we wanted to enter back into sports betting, but we had to find a platform that would help us do that. So we are working with DraftKings as our partner, and that's where I come in.
And we have some more questions about that for you later.
Perfect. I oversee the relationship with our partner with DraftKings, and on a typical day, it is product check-ins, whether it's internal stakeholders or our DraftKings account management team. We do internal checks and balances, our due diligence at the lottery to make sure everything is running smoothly and as it should, and just maintaining communication with various league sport contacts and people around the industry. So that kind of encompasses most of my day, is networking and communicating with a lot of different partners within the projects.
Okay. And since sports betting is sort of a newer product of the lottery, post PASPA, post 2019, we also wanted to check in about what the more traditional products have been and what's been offered at the Oregon Lottery since the beginning.
Yeah, we have all traditional products. So the lottery started in 1985. We actually did have a sports betting product way back then. It was called Sports Action. It was very traditional. It was, in the newspaper, the odds would go in there, and then you'd walk into the convenience store, pick your picks, very like a quick pick, and then wait for that to happen. And that closed down a number of years ago. So when we brought sports betting back in 2019, it actually isn't the first time we've had it. But with our traditional products, so we offer everything from that you would normally find within the state. So scratch it tickets, our daily draw games like Keno, and then our big jackpot style games, which are like the Powerball and Mega Millions, which are multi-state jackpot games. And we in Oregon are unique, though, in that we offer what we call video lottery. So it is that Vegas style slot machine type game. We are one of only a handful of states in the U.S., lotteries in the U.S., I think about 8, that offer the video style game, in addition to the rest of our lottery products.
Great. And a lot of states use these games to fund community projects like public schools or state parks. And we were curious if you could tell us more about the breakdown of where the funding goes.
Yeah, certainly. So in the state of Oregon, we are unique in that we operate on a 2-year budget cycle. So that's not typical to most states. And for this past year, the 2021 to 2023 budget cycle, we allocated $1.8 billion,
Wow.
to our state beneficiaries. And these beneficiaries are supported by Oregonians. They're voted on by Oregonians. That way we can make sure that the money goes back into the community areas that they're passionate about. So for us, that is education, economic development, parks and watershed, problem gambling resources, and veteran services. We are unique, though, on the sports product in that it is allocated separately from those beneficiaries. So the sports product, all of the profits that come from sports goes to offset costs of the state public pensions And
Okay.
that for those employees like you that go to universities or school districts, state agencies, and so all pension costs are allocated from sports betting revenue.
Okay. And coming back to sports betting then, can you tell us
Mhm.
more about your partnership with DraftKings and what that's been like and what you can offer now because of it?
Yeah. So as I said, we're a little unique in that we sports betting has to come through the Oregon lottery for it to be legal in the states here. And we started in 2019. We found a platform provider that helped kick everything off. A couple years later, DraftKings acquired that platform provider. And so starting in January of 2022, so just a little over a year and change ago, we transitioned our entire sports betting product over to the DraftKings Sportsbook. And we've been running ever since with that. It is a way for us to offer a safe and reliable sports betting product for Oregonians. In order to play, you have to be in the boundaries of the state of Oregon and not on tribal lands. So you can place a wager anywhere in the state. And we have an extensive library of sports, offerings that and different ways to wager and all standard sporting stuff. We include single event parlay bets, live wagering. We do not offer collegiate wagering currently, but we do offer a wide variety of pretty much everything else. And it also comes with a full suite of responsible gambling services. So the sports product for Oregon Lottery is the first and only product that we know who our players are with known play. It's a digital product here. It's not in brick and mortar locations, unlike the rest of our products. So you have to sign up for it. And in order to sign up for it, for responsible gambling, you get to pick, your self-imposed limits, daily limits, wager limits, cool-off periods, those kind of things. We also know who our customers are. It's our only product that we actually do know who we are and are able to give tools to them because of that.
And the accounts go through DraftKings as well, or all through Oregon Lottery?
It's kind of it's both. It's a shared approach with our partnership with them, but they run the platform for us. So it's handled by DraftKings, but Oregon Lottery is still the operator in our agreement with them. So they are our platform provider, and they do a lot of tasks on our behalf. But
A
Oregon
true
Lottery,
partnership then, working together.
Yes, Oregon Lottery maintains the operator and the regulatory status of the relationship with DraftKings.
Okay, and you said it's available everywhere except tribal land.
So Oregon, we have a number of tribal casinos throughout the state, and our partnership with them or agreement with them is they are able to offer sports betting also within the boundaries of their tribal areas. So for example, we have where I live, I'm about an hour from the coast, our beach areas, and I drive past a tribal casino on the way. So I can bet on Oregon Lottery on my app going that direction, but when I get to near that casino, I would have to be in the casino to wager on their area, their sports book, whatever that is. And then once I get past that, I can go back to Oregon Lottery. So we wanted to be mindful of our tribal relationships and let them still offer sports betting as well. And that way we can kind of split it. When folks go to the casinos to play the casino, they can play their sports book. And then when they're around the state, around our areas, they can play ours.
Okay, that makes sense. And going back a bit, speaking of playing your sports book and how many options you have, I know you've offered some really interesting wagering on events like the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, which just happened. 62 hot dogs in 10 minutes. That's insane. Are there any other really interesting and unique events that you're offering wagering on coming up?
Yeah, so I guess it would be considered what you would consider unique. So for us, in the States, we just got past our Independence Day. So lots of backyard barbecues and outdoor stuff. And as you mentioned, the Nathan's hot dog eating contest happens every year on the 4th of July, our Independence Day. And so everybody here knows our standard 3 sports, or our main sports in the US, are basketball, football, and baseball. And when right now we're in the summer months, the ebbs and flow of the sports season. And so football for us and basketball aren't happening. And we want to make sure we keep a library of sports active. So we're always looking for those unique kind of different sporting events going on. Another one that we offer that kind of goes with the Nathan's and the hot dog is cornhole. So and there is a league and a championship, and one of my roles with the Oregon Lottery is to review the sports that are offered on the platform for whether it's a good fit for lottery. So because DraftKings may have it in other jurisdictions, other states here, doesn't mean it's guaranteed to be active in Oregon. So we review everything that comes through, whether it fits for us. And some of the things that we do when we review is we ask ourselves, does it have a governing body? You know, are there integrity standards with it? What are the age of the participants?
Are there integrity standards with cornhole?
There's a governing body, so I guess there is.
That's great to know.
Yeah. So we offer things. And so, yeah, some of those more non-standard events, they have governing bodies that go with them. We've got, Tour de France or cycling, motorsports. There's even, so baseball may be a standard event, but coming up here is the home run derby. So the guys can go in and sit. So all of those kind of things to kind of fill the sports season when you get kind of the ebbs and flows and the more lull of it. We've got a lot of things that kind of fill the pot. So something for everybody. Sports can be a lot if you're not used to sports betting. And so when you can go in there and look at the Nathan's hot dog eating contest and just pick the over and under of how many hot dogs is he going to eat, 62 hot dogs or under that or over that, it's a little simpler for those more casual bettors that want to come in and just kind of check it out. So we want to make sure that we have something for everybody, something that's a little bit more robust if they want to go that route, or something very simple. Football for Super Bowl was pick the color of the Gatorade that gets dumped on the coach at the end of the game. Something very simple like that. That's just an easy pick. And so we're kind of all over the board.
Very cool. And what are your relationships like with the retail partners? Do you find people are still buying lottery tickets and playing lottery games in shops and in stores in person, or are they mostly playing online?
So the Sportsbook is our only online digital product that we currently offer for Oregon Lottery. So it's 100% digital, and it's available through the DraftKings Sportsbook app and website. It's kind of our first jump into that digital realm. All of our other lottery products are standard lottery products, whether that be scratch hits, Keno, or even the video that we have must be done on site in a brick and mortar retail location. We have thousands of retail partners throughout the state of Oregon that our customers go in. They can either go in, buy a ticket, and take that ticket home, or they can go in and actually play on site. So our video lottery in the terminals, they play on site. We have Keno up on the screens. They can sit there if they choose to and watch it. So we're very involved with our retail channel and our partners there throughout the state. And so we give a little bit for everybody in Oregon if they want to go in person or with sports, play online.
Okay. And our last question for you was just what the goals are for the Oregon Lottery for the rest of the year, and if you're on track to meet them.
Yeah. So it's been wonderful. It's been a great experience moving over to the DraftKings platform. One area that I see with this is just what kind of growth we can have in the future. We originally forecasted, 4 or 5 years of growth for the product until we start kind of plateauing. And that was before we switched platforms. So I'm just excited to see what the future has to offer and kind of see where we are within that trending. It's all very new. This year will be the second year we're on DraftKings for the kickoff of football, the kickoff of the National Football League coming up here in a couple months. And I just want to see where we are. One of the big growth periods we've had is within our registrations of the product. So we are seeing a lot of new players coming in. We've seen a lot more players coming, betting a little. Our average bet amount has gone down while our number of players have gone up, which to me tells me that we're getting a lot more recreational players, which is what we want to see. For the sports product, it's a different player base than our lottery product. And that's one of the reasons the goals we brought it in was to expand our player base to something new. And so when we're seeing a lot more recreational bettors coming in and just kind of checking us out, it is definitely a goal of mine to continue to grow that as best we can and to continue to offer products to them that want to keep them coming back and checking us out. New unique, events or markets or different ways to wager. As sports betting becomes more mainstream here in the U.S., it's becoming more standard that people are used to seeing it. And I believe that will help us bring registration numbers in. And I want to make sure that with that growth of players coming in and where they're dabbling in the product, that it's a good product for them, that they enjoy it, and they want to come back and check us out for more.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about everything you're working on, and I hope the rest of your year goes well.
Thank you very much for having me.